Good morning, good morning. This will probably be a good couple of verses, probably a couple of days worth of work we're going to be doing. But we're going to be going into Daniel. We're going to go through the whole book of Daniel. We're going to give you different things. And the first thing is, they're saying the key stories of chapter 1 through 6. They're talking about Babylon captivity, Nabaske's dream, fiery furnace, Belshazzar's feast, and Daniel in the lion's den. We are going into chapter 1 right now. And it says, in the third year of the region, Jehoiakim of Judah came. So chapter 1 is going to be about Babylon captivity, apparently. Came Babylon to Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand with part of the vessels of the house of God, which he carried into the land of Shinar, to the house of his God, and he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his arranges, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom. You're not going outside. And cunning knowledge and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, in whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat, and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end, therefore, they might stand before the king. Now among these were of the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, unto whom the prince of the Nakas gave names, for he gave unto Daniel the name of Belteshazzar, and to Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah of Abednego. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the Nakas that he might not defile himself. Now God had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the Nakas. And the prince of the Nakas said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse liking than the children which are of your sort? Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king. Then said Daniel to Mishael, whom the prince of the Nakas had sent over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. Then let our countenance be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So he consented to them in this matter, and proved them 10 days. At the end of 10 days, the countenance appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Thus Melchi took away the portions of the meat and the wine that they should drink, and gave them pulse. And as for these 4 children, God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Now at the end of the days that the king had said he should bring them in, then the prince of the Nakas brought them in before Nabasca. And the king communed with them, and among them all was found none like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore stood I before the king in all the matters of wisdom and understanding, that the king inquired of them. He found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were all in his realm. And Daniel continued even unto the first year of King Cyrus. Then we're going to keep on reading chapter. We're going to go into chapter 2. In the second year of the region of Nebraska dreamed dreams. Okay, chapter 2, when we talk about Nebraska's dream. In the second year of the region of Nebraska dreamed dreams, whereas his spirit was troubled, and his sleep broke from him. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans, for to shew the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. And the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. Then spoke the Chaldeans to the king, the Sirach king, Live forever, tell thy servants thy dream, and we will shew thy interpretation. The king answered and said to the children, The thing is gone from me, if ye will not make known unto me the dream, with interpretation therefore. Ye shall be cut in pieces, and your houses shall be made in dunghill. But if ye show the dreams and interpretations therefore, ye shall receive of me gifts and rewards, and great honor. Therefore show me the dreams and the interpretations therefore. They answered again and said, Let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will shew the interpretation of it. The king answered and said, I know of certainty that ye will gain the time, because ye see the things is gone from me. If ye will not make known unto me the dream, there is but one decree for you, for ye have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. Therefore tell me the dream, and I shall know that ye can shew me the interpretation therefore. The children answered before the king, and said, There is not a man upon the earth that can shew the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler, that asks such things as any magician or alchemist or Chaldean. And it is a rare thing that the king requires, and there is none other that can show it before the king except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. For this cause the king was angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men in Babylon. And the decree went forth that the wise man should be slain, and they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Aranaka, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Aranaka, the king's captain, Why is the decree so hasty from the king? Then Aranaka made the thing known to Daniel. Then Daniel went and desired of the king that he would give him time, and that he would shew the king the interpretation. Then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hannah, Mishael, and Azariah his companion, that they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changes the times and the seasons. He removed kings and says of kings, but he giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that I know understanding. He reveals the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. I thank thee and praise thee, O thou God, my fathers, who hast given me wisdom and might, and hast made known unto him now what we desired of thee. For thou hast now made known unto us as the king's matter. Therefore Daniel went in unto Aranaka, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men in Babylon. He went and said unto them, Destroy not the wise men in Babylon. Bring me in before the king, and I will shew unto the king the interception. The Aranaka brought in Daniel before the king in haste, and said thus unto him, I have found a man of the captivities of Judah, that will make known unto the king the interpretation. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belshazzar, Art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen, and the interpretation therefore? Daniel answered in the presence of the king, and said, The secret which the king hath demanded, can't the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers shew unto the king? But there is a God in heaven that reveals secrets, and makes known to the king Nebraska what should be in the later days. Thy dreams and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. As for thee, O king, thy thoughts come into thy mind upon thy bed. What shall come to pass hereafter, and that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for the sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and thou mayest know the thoughts of thy heart. Thou, O king, sawest, behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness is excellent, stood before thee, and the form therefore was terrible. This image head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thigh of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out with hands, without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and broke them in pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the shaft of the hammer of their threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. This is a dream, and we will tell the interpretation, therefore, before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the God of heaven hath given thee a king of power and strength and glory. And whoever the children of men drill, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the heaven hath he given unto thy hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. And after thee shall rise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdue all things. And as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sowest thy feet and toes, part of clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. For as much as thou sowest the iron mixed with mire clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron, part of the clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sowest iron mixed with mire clay, they shall mingle themselves with the sea of men. But they shall not cleave to one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. In the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to another people. But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it broke in pieces, the iron, brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream inserted in the interpretations therefore, sir. Then the king of Nebraska fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer oblation and sweet odors unto him. The king answered unto Daniel, and said, Oh, of a truth it is, that your God is the God of gods, and the Lord of kings, and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal the secret. Then the king made Daniel a great man, and gave him many great gifts, and made him ruler of all the province of Babylon, and the chief of governors over all the wise men of Babylon. Then David requested the king, and he set Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the fields of the provision of Babylon, but Daniel sat in the gate of the king. Tomorrow we're going to go into chapter 6. We're going to go more so today we read chapter 1, which was Babylon captivity, and then chapter 2, which is Nebraska's dream. And then tomorrow we'll finish with all the stories of Daniel. Other than that, I will be back later on with another reading. Have a safe morning. I love you all.